So this story right here is fascinating. Apparently we have some ICE whistleblowers from inside, and they are spilling the tea. They are telling all. They are letting everybody know what's going on, the decisions that the higher-ups are making that they have to enforce. So first of all, before I even start, let me just say, fuck ICE. They should absolutely be abolished. The fact that these people are telling the truth, that doesn't exonerate them of the crimes that they're committing on a daily basis. This is Trump's Gestapo. Let's be clear about that. That's why you have all these ICE agents who were deputized like last fucking week in plain clothes with plain license plates on their cars, covering their faces, rounding up innocent people because they know, man, everything we're doing is illegal, and there could be some pushback to this in the future. Okay, so look at this. Trump administration's 3,000 ICE arrests per day quota is taking focus off criminals and killing morale. So remember, the initial quota was 1,200. Even to get to that 1,200 number, you had to just start rounding up innocent people. Let's be clear about that. But Stephen Miller berated ICE and said, you got to go to Home Depots, you got to go to 7-Elevens, you got to go to hair salons, you got to go to farms, you got to round up people, bro. And after he berated them, then they cranked it up again, and now it's 3,000 minimum per day. So there is no focus. We're going to get the gangsters, we're going to get the criminals, we're going to get the thugs. This is what Trump says all the fucking, we're going after the worst people, we're going after the gangsters, the thugs, the criminals. Fucking horseshit. Read any of the specifics of the people they're rounding up, and you will know that is a lie. It is the clearest lie ever told. All right, here we go. The Trump administration's mandate to arrest 3,000 illegal migrants per day is forcing ICE agents to deprioritize going after dangerous criminals and targets with deportation orders, insiders warn. Instead, federal immigration officers are spending more time rounding up people off the streets, sources said. Quote, all that matters is numbers, pure numbers. Quantity over quality, one immigrations and customs enforcement insider told the Post. Holy shit. Trump and Stephen Miller have gone so extreme and so fascist that even their Gestapo is going, damn, bro, they really don't care who we're getting. They just want us to hit that number of 3,000 a day. The policy is also, quote, unmaintainable at current staffing levels, and it's, quote, killing morale, sources added. So in other words, everybody who's out there protesting, everybody who's out there trying to protect their neighbors and going after these ICE agents and trying to chase them out of their neighborhoods, you are making a difference. You are changing the game. You are helping to fix this by fighting back aggressively. And the agency is burning through its budget at a breakneck pace, with ICE already $1 billion over budget, Axios reported Monday. On Sunday, Trump doubled down on his plans to deport illegal immigrants, saying ICE agents would carry out the single largest mass deportation in history in Democrat-led cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Agents are desperate to meet the White House's high expectations, leading them to leave some dangerous criminal illegal migrants on the streets and instead look for anyone they can get their hands on at the local Home Depot or bus stop, ICE insiders say. Quote, these quotas are undermining the agency's ability to focus on the really serious criminal aliens, said John Sandweg, a former ICE director under President Barack Obama. What a fucking admission from the people who are doing the work. What an astonishing admission that is. And by the way, it matches up with the record that we have. How many times did we hear, a U.S. veteran was picked up by ICE, an American citizen was picked up by ICE. They arrested a U.S. Marshal the other day because they're going, I don't know, that guy looks brown. Grab him. Literally, that's what they're doing. They continue here. The quotas force ICE agents to let illegal migrant gangbangers and criminals fly under the radar because the feds no longer have the time for the days-long investigations it takes to hunt them down, said ICE insiders and Sandwich. So understand what he's saying here is they only care about the number, and they don't actually do the hard work necessary to be in this position. So the hard work is, yes, if you're going to go after undocumented immigrants who are also violent criminals, that has like 80 or 90% support in the country. That's something, virtually everybody supports that, right? But in order to do that, you got to do work. You got to collect evidence. You got to figure out who the baddies are. You got to go through the records, etc., right? And instead, it's just go out and get anybody, bro. Quote, the transnational gang members, the convicted felons, the bad actors make it hard on ICE to find them. They don't just sit there and make it easy. They don't show up in a Home Depot parking lot hanging around, said Sandweg. He had a quote, they have no choice but to pivot away from that guy because you could sink 100 hours to get that gang member and you'd get one arrest. But it's a really good arrest and made a huge impact on public safety. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson said anyone who is in the U.S. illegally is at risk of deportation. Apparently, it's not just that. It's also people who are here legally. White House advisor Stephen Miller instructed ICE to focus on easier targets as he ordered the agency to ramp up its arrest numbers, the Wall Street Journal reported earlier this month. In one meeting, he said he could sweep Home Depots and 7-Eleven convenience stores and immediately collar 30 illegal migrants in Washington, D.C., according to newspapers, which quoted sources in the room. Who here thinks they can do it? Miller reportedly said. The Trump administration initially instituted an 1,800 per day quota. At one point, I read 1,200 was the bare minimum. But ICE insiders say the quota is doing more harm than good. Quote, we are working constantly at an unimaginable pace. It takes hours to process one person who is illegally in the country, and to be told what you're doing still isn't good enough is killing agents' morale. Another ICE source fumed that it gets harder and harder as the days go by, as agents are moving from targeted operations aimed at catching criminals and migrants with removal orders to now hitting up people on the street, like the raid on Los Angeles area Home Depot earlier this month, which drew massive protests and riots. And that's exactly right. The community is going to come after you. People are going to protest. People are going to try to block you because you're ruining lives for fucking nothing. By the way, we crunched the numbers on this. Less than 1% of immigrants in this country are undocumented immigrants and violent criminals. Less than 1%. That means the actual number, the raw number, is 10,000 or fewer. They've already arrested over 100,000 people, y'all. That's 90,000 at least innocent people that we're talking about here. Of course there's going to be a fucking backlash. Of course people are going to look at you like the Gestapo, because you are. And by the way, for the people admitting this, man, this is really bad and we're getting innocent people, fucking resign. Resign. Blow the whistle. Go do something else. They can't get this shit done if you refuse to do it. This is, like, people need to understand that. The U.S. military, the Marines who were sent to Los Angeles, fucking resign. Resign. Call it out. Leave. The fucking National Guard, which Trump took from Gavin Newsom, illegally federalized it. Why didn't the head of the National Guard say, I'm not doing that? What's Trump going to do? Is he going to jail you too? Okay, well, he jails you too. You go down as a hero for standing up against fascism. I'm tired of people, like, everybody just puts their head down and fucking goes along. Don't do that. Fight back every step of the way. There should be mass resignations from the military right now. Why? Because we're doing an illegal war against Iran that we just started. Totally illegal, totally unconstitutional, killing civilians. Why are you not resigning? Why are you not? Do you have no moral core? Do you have no moral core? Fucking grow a spine. Do the right thing. For once in your fucking life, do it. DHS revealed on Monday that 75% of the migrants arrested in Trump's first 100 days had either convictions or pending criminal charges. That's bullshit. Jackson emphasized the critical need for ICE to receive more funding from Congress, though Trump's one big beautiful bill to continue the mass deportation raids. This bill would fund at least 1 million deportations, 10,000 new ICE officers and 3,000 border agents. It would also give immigration agents bonuses, which Jackson said they've more than earned. The new strategy is a major shift from the earlier promises of Trump's border czar Tom Homan, who pledged that the mass deportation operation would concentrate on the worst of the worst. But that's the thing, guys. Again, it's a numbers game. If you only deport the worst of the worst, you'd be done already. Maybe you wouldn't be done because it takes a while to learn who they are and go after them, but you would be doing like 1/100th the number of deportations you're doing, right? And Trump cares more about the optics. Stephen Miller cares more about the optics. They care more about a show of force, and so they're rounding up innocent fucking people. Trump at first seemed to back away from the expansion of the mass deportation effort, recognizing it was taking its toll on the agriculture and hospitality industries. In a post on Truth Social last Thursday, Trump acknowledged that his deportation campaign was hurting the farming and hospitality industries. That same day, ICE officers across the country received an order to, quote, please hold on all worksite enforcement investigations and operations on agriculture, including aquaculture and meat packing plants, restaurants, and operating hotels, according to the New York Times. Our great farmers and people in hotel and leisure business have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good, long-time workers away from them, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. This is not good. We must protect our farmers, but get the criminals out of the USA. Changes are coming. The Trump administration backed away from the pause days later, with Trump posting about stepping up raids in sanctuary cities. So my guess is one of his billionaire buddies, Steve Wynn or some other asshole, called up Trump and said, sir, I love what you're doing. You're amazing, but can I please ask you a favor? I'm losing a lot of good workers here who don't have a criminal record. Can we please pump the brakes on that a little bit? And Trump, great idea, Steve. Let's do that. And then literally only a couple days later, he flips right back. He flips right back to, now we're going to double down. Now we're going to go after all the big Democratic cities. We're going to do these mass raids, which means what? In all those cities, there will be massive counter-protests where people try to protect the community. Then Trump will federalize the National Guard in those states as well, and he'll also send the Marines in there as well. Full fucking martial law police state fascism. This is what we're talking about, y'all. This is what we're talking about. The takeaway from this article is everything that we said was happening. It is now being verified and validated by every single ICE agent who's spilling the tea here. They're saying, look, we're tired, we're fed up, There's not enough of us. They're telling us to go round up anybody. We're doing it. It's leading to a backlash. We'd like to just focus on the criminals, et cetera, et cetera. Like, this is everything we've said. And all of those horror stories are exactly that. Now Trump's trying to send 9,000 people minimum to Guantanamo Bay. So sent them to the slave labor gulag concentration camp in El Salvador, over 200 of them, innocent people, no criminal record, 75 to 90% of them, no criminal record. Now sending them to Guantanamo Bay. Do you not understand this is a crime against humanity? Do you not understand that? It's massively unconstitutional, massively illegal, and the courts are trying to check him, and then he just ignores the courts. And even the ICE agents are going, damn, this is sort of fascist of us. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. This is a rogue regime. We need impeachment. We need him to be removed from office, and we need criminal charges, not just against Trump, also against Stephen Miller, also against Kristi Noem. You could try to get some of these ICE agents to flip and spill the tea and testify against the leaders, but if they don't cooperate, they should be arrested too. If you're a masked thug, part of ICE Gestapo, and you're going around and snatching people off the streets and they don't get a hearing, I don't really care that you're being honest about the crimes you're committing. You're still fucking committing crimes. So either cooperate or you go to jail too. We need like new Nuremberg trials over this, over fucking the genocide in Gaza, over this illegal war with Iran. Massive numbers of people have to fucking go to jail. That's the only way out of this. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.